Hey all. So remember we talked about we were training for an obstacle course race? Well, yeah, we uh we did the race and we finished almost dead last. Yeah, there's two pieces of the Spartan medal. They try to encourage you to go for what they call the trifecta, which is three of each kind of race, and this is one third of it.
One of each kind of race.
One of each, and you get you can't really tell, but it's the top part of that, and as you can see, it says finisher, finisher, and you get a bunch of things, including a lovely shirt,
It has this lovely message on the back.
finisher, and then just because they think you are insane, they trifecta qualifier. So you can do one of each of the three kinds. So we did it. We've been training for a while. We finished today hours ago. Drove back home from Tahoe. We were dead tired and just zonked out. So apologize for not being as active as we really ought to. However, we did accomplish the thing. And let me tell you, if you're an asthmatic, maybe going up to 6,200 feet and racing a 4+ mile race with 13 obstacles, like I did, is a little insane. I know this because I would not have finished had it not been for her dragging my ass along in a few spaces, or because yeah, there's two categories, elites and everybody else, and because we were in the everybody else category, we're allowed to help each other. In fact, we're encouraged. At least no helping each other. Everybody else, please help each other. And like the first, we got in. There's a wall to just get to the start area that you have to climb over. I couldn't. I helped her over. She couldn't. I helped her over. Then a random guy, just ran up behind me and he boosted me up and he went, "We help each other in this race." And I was like, "Yes." So we spent the rest of the race because we were slow, picking up stragglers, carrying them along. Come on, you can do it. Helping people over obstacles, helping through, just
And then we hit
being
the
nice.
bucket brigade.
Yeah, yes, and we did this before and after the bucket brigade. The bucket brigade is where her awesomeness flowed outwards. Where I had to carry this bucket,
A 5-gallon bucket.
5 gallon bucket.
Men had to have it filled within about 2 to 3 inches from the top.
Women were about
Women
4.
had about 6 or 8 inches from the top.
Probably more like 6. It didn't seem
But they had holes that you had to have covered with dirt and rock and all sorts of unpleasant heavy stuff.
Before you started.
Before you started, you had to fill your bucket beforehand, and they encourage you to overfill it because the dirt settles.
And it has to be at the line of the holes.
When you
we
finish.
thought it had to be over when you finish. No, you overfill so it'll sink. So if you get like halfway up, people were adding dirt.
And
because like, it was full when I started.
Yeah, I actually started with almost as much as the men did because I didn't know how much it was going to settle, and ended up taking some of my dirt and helping another gal who hadn't filled her bucket enough or had dumped a lot of hers out accidentally. And so I actually was losing between 5 and 10 pounds on what I had to lift, which was awesome because that hill is bitch.
It was probably close to 200 or 300 yards to the top.
It was easily 2 or 3 football fields.
Yeah, and this is a ski run that we're going up, and it was probably a blue diamond a blue square or a black diamond, intermediate or advanced run. But we were going from the bottom up.
Yeah.
And we got to the top, and she looked at me, and as you can tell, I don't sound so good. I took my inhaler because I'm an asthmatic, like I said, and I took my inhaler, and I took 3 puffs, and it was not enough.
Yeah, he actually got about a third of the way up before he caught up with me because I stopped and saw where he was and waited.
And waited.
And waited.
And waited.
And so I basically was, all right, come on, up you go, up you go. And we would target up the hill.
We're talking 20 or 30 feet at a time at most.
Yeah.
Sometimes 10.
And then there was a good 5-10 minute break right there while he tried to get his breath back. Once we got to the top, I took a look at him, realized that he was basically a dead cockroach, and went, "I'm taking your bucket the rest of the way down."
I said, "But that's not allowed. It's not this. It's not that." She went, "You can help people. We're on the same team, and I'm your wife. So you're just gonna shut up and let me do it? And I went, hey. I tried to argue. I really did. I thought argue, and that's literally the only thought I had. Argue with her. Say no. And then I couldn't figure out how to do that. And I tried to say no, and then the mouth was like, nah, we're saving your ass. We won't say that word.
And yeah, like some little part in the back of his brain went, we're not letting you say that.
We're just do what your wife says.
Just listen.
She helped me with burpees in the beginning, and I started out too strong, and then I paid for it really quick. And due to the thyroid injury, I don't warm up near as fast as I used to. Like, it takes me double the amount of time, if not more. And I was about past mile 2, and she went, wow, you've got a lot more pep in your step. And mile 2 was almost near the top of where we had to go, which was probably 1,000-foot vertical descent.
Yeah, something like that.
We were over 7,000 feet. And yeah. And then we got to the last obstacle, which was horrible. Pole. If you saw this obstacle on Ninja Warrior, it would be perfect. It was a pole followed by rings, followed by rope, followed by
another
ring,
pole,
another pole,
then rings, then rope, and you had to hit the bell.
There were a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of obstacles. Mainly walls, some mud, crawling. We both got beat up and bruised. We're both bleeding.
I'm not bleeding, but I definitely will have a very pretty bruise on my
Strangely
knee.
enough, and I know any of you who work on cars will agree with me, once I started bleeding, I knew I could finish. Because it was official. I had bled on the course. It was official. And I looked over, jokingly said to the guy running the obstacle I got cut on, I went, does this DNF me? And he goes, well, only if you need to go see a medic. It's like, dirt on it, it's good. And he went, take on. I almost broke my ankle. She banged up her knee. I don't know if I'll ever do another one. She's pretty much decided she's going to do another one. If I do another one, it's going to be after we move to a much lower elevation, because I don't want to start out above the level where people with asthma should really be exercising anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, we did it. Ooh, hold up your medal. We did it.
I survived. So
we
did
survived. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, there were actually 4 races. One was charity. I'm not sure how long it was. But there were competitive events in all 3 levels. The sprint, which is what we did, which was about 4-ish miles.
4 to 5 miles.
13 odd obstacles. The beast, which was 13 miles almost exactly. And
no, 14.
14.
14.
And
they had mile marker
21 obstacles?
I don't know, but they had
the
mile
hill,
marker 14,
yeah.
so it was closer to 15 miles.
So it was closer to 15. The hills of Squaw Valley Ski Resort
are vicious when you're going up them.
And made it very hard for them to put obstacles out. And I think that they just went, they're so vicious, we don't need more obstacles. And they were right. And then there was a thing called Ultra Beast, which is 2 laps. So it's a marathon, better than a marathon length, with obstacles.
You're looking at a 30-mile race.
We are, at the time we're recording this, it's just a few minutes before they closed the course at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And they opened this course, this Ultra Beast.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So just like the Ironman, 18 hours.
But 18 hours is their cutoff. Anybody still on the course?
15 hours, yeah, 15 hours.
Anyways, anyone still on the course is done.
And yesterday, during the big beast and the big everything, they had 600 people not able to finish due to rain and snow and hail.
And hypothermia, because they were swimming through a mountain lake. And no, it wasn't Tahoe. It was one of the holding ponds that the ski resort has for making snow in the winter.
So, yeah, we finished. There were people way crazier than us up there. I may have to go hibernate for a really long time before the word Spartan race, and I'm doing one, comes out of my mouth again. She's thinking about doing the one in November.
No, it's going to be longer than that.
She's thinking about doing another one. She's crazy.
Yeah, I'll be doing another one, just not in November.
Woohoo! Good night, all.